I didn't even know if I wanted to make this video because I know it is going to be so divisive and you're going to stand on either one of two camps, but that's what's going to make this so much fun. So tell me right now, what is your favorite brand of S-style guitars? You see, about 3 years ago, I wanted to buy my last guitar ever. And I don't know if any of you guys have said that. That was a phrase I often said. It never actually ended up being that way. But I started looking around the internet and looking around town. I had a Fender Highway 1 Strat at the time. I've showed it a couple times on this channel. It was a beautiful guitar. It sounded amazing, but I wanted the upper level of Fender's American guitar line. So I looked around the area through Facebook Marketplace and different used alternatives, and I was finding some American standard Strats that people were selling used for about $1,100-$1,200, and I was just about ready to pull the trigger. I was even considering like a PRS CE24 that I had found for like $900 used, and I was like, is this it? Is this the one? Is it time to pull the trigger? That wasn't until I started doing my research and found a different type of S-style guitar. You see, this company was called G&L, and what I found on the internet kind of intrigued me because they were like, hey, Leo Fender. Yeah, that Leo Fender. He's the one who built these guitars. And I was like, whoa, 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 whoa. Like Fender Leo Fender? Like the Leo Fender from Fender Leo Fender? And everyone was like, yeah, Mike, that Leo Fender. I looked and saw that Leo Fender had actually sold Fender in 1965. And after that, he did sort of this whole new project with his friend George Fullerton, who he had been working with back in like the late 40s over at Fender. They put their names together, George, Leo, G&L, started making guitars. And apparently, Leo claimed that these were the best guitars that he had ever made in his life. I'm just telling you what I heard. So I knew I had to try one. But I didn't really know where because I didn't know how popular these instruments were. I just heard a few guys demoing them on YouTube. So I went to my local guitar store, and as soon as I walked in, I noticed that they were a G&L dealer, and I was like, can I play one of your Legacy USA models? And he was like, absolutely, my guy. But I actually have something that I want to show you. What he does is he goes up to his guitar wall, kind of like this, and he pulls down this guitar. Yeah, it's pretty beautiful. And I look at it and I'm like, oh shoot, that red, that's fire right there. Oh my gosh, it looks amazing. And I plug it in and I play it and I'm like, bro, this is the one. This is it. And he says to me, hey kid, so we've had this guitar for about a year and no one has bought it. We usually sell out a lot of G&Ls, but for some reason, this one just hasn't sold. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna give you a deal. If you want this guitar right now, instead of the $13.99 plus tax that it usually costs, I'll give you it for $700 even. I have never pulled out $700 faster. Okay, maybe when I saw Avengers Endgame for like the 400th time, but I was ready to purchase this guitar, and I did. I sold the Highway 1 and I bought myself a G&L Legacy. In person, the first thing I noticed about the guitar wasn't just that Leo Fender made it. I'd seen pictures of it online, but we gotta talk about the headstock. I hope this doesn't ruin any future relationships with G&L, but I just wanna be super honest. The first time I saw it, I didn't like it. I was used to the Fender headstock right here, but this took a little growing on me. And I think it's just because it's different than what I was really used to at the time. One of the second things I noticed when I picked out this guitar is that it has the vintage style tuners. And basically what that means for those of you that don't know is the first time you break a string, you won't know how to change it and you will sit in your room and you will cry and you'll be like, why? After a couple times, you'll be able to do it flawlessly. And I'm gonna show you just how sick this guitar is. But first of all, I have to restring it because the E string actually recently broke because I break a lot of E string. When it comes to vintage style tuners, this is like simultaneously the best and worst part of owning a guitar, especially with the high E string. I'm like, this is going to break. It's not if, it's when. I don't know about you guys, but I always buy E strings in like excess. Is it B? Is it C sharp? No breaking strings, let's go. Honestly, I'm thinking no pedals on this demo. Like, I'm just gonna go straight in, see how it sounds. Fourth position, you know what to do. Alright, we gotta really crank this though. Oh! It's too loud! There's so many factors that make that guitar special, and it's just so interesting when you really try and play it for the first time in a little bit and you're like, oh man, there's some killer S-style guitars out there. And I think especially when you have such a big name in the guitar community like a Leo Fender, you always have those little things going around in your mind like, did he really say it was the best guitar ever? Or was this just his side project? Was the original not as good, then he perfected it? Was the original the only one that matters because it's bigger? I've been trying to look at different lenses of guitar brands and see like, what does this gear actually mean? Like, why are there so many brands? Why are there so many different types? And are they like really up to par with the originals like the Fenders and the Gibsons? Let me know in the comments if you played a GNL, what you think about it, what you thought about the tone, and obviously what you thought about the headstock. Both this guitar and my American Pro 2, they're both available at Sweetwater. It's one of the best ways to support the channel if you want to do that, or if you just want to know more about how I got those tones. Both of those, pick your poison, the links are in the description. There's just so many options nowadays on gear. If you had a good time today, make sure to like and subscribe, and most importantly of all, have a fantastic day. Oh yeah, if you want to see the GNL Fender face-off, let me know in the comments.